Now, normally I don't agree with putting, somebody's inner circle or their friends. I don't really agree with them being used against them. I just don't. I don't normally like that. But this particular individual is and has been repeatedly boosted by Elon Musk. Elon Musk has repeatedly seen at least what I consider to be extraordinarily convincing evidence that this individual is botting their account, including firsthand accounts of his own employees. Elon Musk has gone out of his way to say that he's against bots and that he wants them gone off Twitter. Remember when he was negotiating the price of Twitter? And he said, oh my God, 40% or whatever, some insanely high percentage of people on Twitter are bots. Then Elon bought it, right? Elon bought it and then changed nothing. I still have loads of bots in my replies, and I bet you do too. That's just a reality. Bots are a part of Twitter and always have been. And there's no real financial incentive to get rid of them, by the way. I've talked about this multiple times. They create impressions. Bots create impressions and interactions, which is what advertisers are paying for. Advertisers pay for impressions, interactions, clicks. And so as long as they're there and he pretends to care, and by the way, this is not just Elon, this is every major platform, this is every major place, website. There is no financial incentive to get rid of bots for anybody. In my opinion, bots are far worse now on Twitter than they ever been. And Elon has repeatedly promoted this individual, Mario Nawfal. You may have seen him hosting Twitter Spaces. And he has been outed with evidence from several former employees and marketing agencies for that allege that Mario Nawfal has bought Twitter followers and bought Twitter Spaces, bots. The conversations are undeniable. You see internal text messages where he's talking with people about buying bots for Twitter. His team is talking about it, at least. Agreeing to buy bots. All this type of thing. I mean, the evidence is, self-sufficient. You can see what it is. And now, he's suing people. He's suing several of my peers. He's probably going to sue me for reporting on it. Well, it's not defamation if it's true. And what Upper Echelon has done here, by the way, has reported about this. And I think it's important that I signal boost it and help him raise some money for his legal defense, because this is pure insanity. I'm just going to share a little bit of his video here. I'm sure he won't mind, because he can explain it much better than me.
Easy, I'll just dive right in. I am being sued by a man named Mario Nawfal for $11 million. This is an extremely long series of events with a lot of context I hope the community is willing to watch in video form, but the summary bullet points are as follows, and there is a link down below, obviously, to a playlist of all the videos if you want to do that before watching any further. In November of 2022, I did a video about shady activities by a rising Twitter celebrity named Mario Nawfal. This video led to a response, ultimately an entire series, where whistleblowers, former contractors, investors, and business partners all came forward, offering up documents and testimony for a large variety of shady activities from Mario Nawfal, his company IBC, and more.
Now, these are the screenshots you see on Twitter. You see this kind of the screenshots floating around. I don't understand crypto stuff, so I'm not going to speak about that, but I am going to speak about the bots and Elon's continued ignorance, willful ignorance to this guy by promoting him because Elon directly benefits from it.
Those videos were met with multiple threats of a lawsuit by someone who is, in my opinion, and to the best of my understanding, a sleazy social media grifter. And now, as more and more evidence comes out day by day, he has decided to file multiple lawsuits, one of which is an $11 million defamation complaint against me personally. He is currently pursuing legal action against myself, obviously, as well as a former contractor named Chet Long, who previously worked as IBC Group's head of operational security, as well as another former executive, Frank Heidenreich, who served as chief marketing officer. Mario's team is also openly sharing a sort of counterclaim document right now, stating that there is impending legal action against yet another independent reporter, one of the very first to discuss these situations in 2022, even before I did, going by the name Hash Bastards on Twitter.
Now, I had them on a, it's a guy, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's a guy. He was on my Twitter space the other night. And, first of all, it's not defamation if it's true. Okay. At this point, I want to make a direct call out that this is a very, 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 very important lawsuit. It's going to be expensive to defend himself, but it needs to be defended because Upper Echelon, in my opinion, is 100% correct. I also suspect I'll have to be raising funds for a lawsuit at some point by reporting on it, but I will not be silenced, and I will not allow this guy to bully fellow content creators who just want to report. And by the way, Elon, hey, Elon, you should be backing this. You're against bots, right?
As the events continue to escalate day by day, that might not even be the end. For clarity, multiple of my sources, both public sources who are now stepping forward without anonymity and private sources who have so far remained anonymous, are willing to sign sworn affidavits attesting to the authenticity of the documents they shared. But that's not what this video is about. All the legal action will take place in the background, and it's boring for a lot of people. Today is about sending a message for freedom of speech and serving a rebuke to someone who is solely motivated by inflicting damage on whistleblowers and reporters in order to stifle what they say. You can dislike me, my style, my content, my methods, or my voice. All of the above. But the truth of the matter here is that I worked with sources. Those sources gave me information, which was evaluated and cross-referenced to the best of my human ability. I clearly articulated my personal opinions based on that evidence, while Mario Nafal clearly disliked those opinions. His replies to openly abuse the legal system, which is made even more obvious by his original threats to...
Here's Mario's text messages. We sent him one? Yes, of course. I think I'll make him double down. I think that'll make him double down, talking about a lawsuit. Then I'll take him to court and bleed him financially and force YouTube to remove them. This is Elon Musk's buddy, right? This is Elon Musk's buddy threatening to, he's admitting that the lawsuit is BS. And he's just going to do it to hurt him financially.
Bleed me financially in court and utilize DMCA claims to remove the videos when he knew and knows full well that the Digital Millennium Copyright Act does not apply here. Believe me when I say there's a lot going on at the moment, but much the same way Magnates Media was recently targeted maliciously by someone attempting to abuse legality and hurt him, I am now being attacked by someone that I consider to be a crypto con man who is attempting to shut down critics by any means necessary. Mario Nafal claims, directly in his social media and elsewhere, to be a partner and equity owner at IBL, International Blockchain Legal, which is the law firm targeting me in my home state of New Hampshire, where Mario supposedly also conducts substantial business. I have an enormous folder of evidence and testimony, which I can make available to proper legal counsel at the drop of a pin, and I am now asking the community to support me, if I even have that right, as I
think people should
crowdfund a war chest and send a message that a Dubai-based crypto sleazeball can't just throw money at a broken legal system and silence everyone who tries to speak out. I put myself in the middle of all this by initially covering the story. That much is readily apparent. I stand by my work, and after everything I've talked about with all the people ultimately affected, I believe this is the only legitimate course of action. In a world where social media has turned into a cesspool of competing self-interest, when Mario is propped up by none other than quite literally Elon Musk on Twitter, while sitting US representatives go on his program, suing a YouTuber who criticized you with evidence-based testimony from your own contractors and associates, while trying to tear apart the credibility of whistleblowers and openly acknowledging your true intent to bleed your targets financially in court, is a really scummy move. This is the right thing to do. Some people may not think so, but that voice that guides us, the quiet one inside that tells you right from wrong, right? Everybody has it. I can't ignore that voice right now because it's not really that quiet. It is.
I just think that, oh, what has he got here?
Heights while allegedly doing all sorts of things that I have discussed in prior videos. Again, playlist link down below. I hope everyone will take the time to watch it. While someone like Don't Walk Run Productions, an excellent YouTuber, can't even get subscriptions approved on Twitter. Jeremy from The Quartering, who has a fair bit of relevant experience on YouTube here to draw from, claimed openly that there is a smaller group of accounts, which he referred to as Elon's inner circle, who all push and promote things in unison on the platform. And as I search for reasonable explanations as to why Mario Nawfal has been allowed to persist for this long, despite a torrent of evidence and testimony surfacing all the time, that kind of thing really makes you wonder. Mario Nawfal brags directly in messages, quite literally to Elon Musk, about the money he's raising for Twitter Spaces, a claim that I find myself doubting is even true. And maybe all of this really does boil down to the idea that some people only care about social media fame and are willing to do quite literally anything to get money and Twitter clout. Mario seems like that type of person. There's video evidence and audio evidence of him saying things like that. But those people shouldn't be allowed to bully others and dictate what is or is not spoken out into the world just because they have the money to hurt people. Mario's latest effort is to say he was framed. All right, that's a very bold claim, but why then would he describe the initial leaks of information like this? Quote, "Bro, you can't start leaking shit and then ask us to pay. You already did the damage. I'm the one who told Tarek to stop the legal action after we spoke on New Year's Eve, and I told you on that call I have good news for you. If you want to get what you want and settle, I need assurances that you'll stop leaking and the video is removed." End quote. Now, he's talking about his former chief marketing officer there, his own CMO prior, whom he acknowledged elsewhere is owed something like $60,000 on a handshake deal to delay those wages till a later date. Frankly, I don't really care what that arrangement is or was. I care that Mario now says he was framed when his first response to my...
Anyway, I'm going to stop it there. You should absolutely watch Upper Echelon's video on it. If you're in a financial position too, please do consider backing him because this is an important legal fight.